It also helps if it's short. Being that this is short in verbiage, so you can write it down, maybe on a little card that you can carry with you, have it as your screensaver, so you're going to see it all the time. The more times you look at your goal, your unconscious will find ways to achieve it. We have an amazing bit of technology in your brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS, which basically the analogy of you get more of what you focus on. I'm wondering if any of you decided, oh, I'm going to get back into fitness, I might start running again, you know, I'm not quite sure what I'll do. Suddenly you're walking past a notice board, Shazam, and then you've got a Ricky Singh poster or something. It may have been there forever, but because you've set an intention, a clear, specific goal, your unconscious starts to notice it. Oh yeah. Then we've started to unpack it. So keeping it short, something you can write down really short. The next is measurable. So our first one for the selling more, or maybe for the marketers making more cold calls, that's measurable. You can put a number on it. So I can come up to you as your coach or as your manager and say, you said you were going to make 20 more calls and get so many more leads and appointments, where are we? Just more isn't enough when we can target it in. And another one, as a coach, this isn't out there very often, meaningful, brackets to you. I see this quite a lot in my fitness, with my fitness hat on. People get sent to me saying, and the P there is sent to me, oh, I think I need to get fitter, I think I need to lose weight. A couple of coaching sessions in, we discover that's not even their goal. Somebody else has suggested that they come, or they might feel pressured because their friends got a little bit fitter. And after we've had a little chat, that's not even meaningful to them. So is it meaningful to you? Is it even your goal? Is it what you want? I mean, how likely is it you're going to do what's necessary to achieve it and get motivated and buzzed up if it's not even your goal? So it needs to be meaningful. Brackets to you. Next one is achievable. Now this relates to the bottom one really, in that time scale. Don't like to put any limits on any goals, but is it achievable in the time scale that you're thinking of? So for the analogy of, I want to sell £1 million worth and become a partner and get me gold Rolex, when do you want that by? Well, I've only been in the company 6 weeks, I want to be at the next summit. That's probably not achievable unless you were an absolute ninja and never slept. Chris is probably somewhere near there, I think. So is it achievable? Is it achievable to sell £1 million worth, get your Rolex and be a partner? Absolutely. By the next summit, if you've only been in 6 months, 6 weeks, probably not. So everything's achievable, it's just the time scale that makes it unachievable. The next one, realistic. So if we echo back, since we're on the work-life balance to a fitness one, I'd like to run the London Marathon in 3 hours. Okay? At this moment in time, is that realistic? They might be able to get to the London Marathon, but they haven't done any training, they've not even run a half marathon. I'm fairly confident they can achieve the marathon, but I don't think they can get 3 hours. So if it's unrealistic, people kind of look for a way out, or they can find a way out. Quite a few people like to set goals that are unrealistic, because it gets to occupy their mind so they don't have to deal with other stuff. So as a coach, you're asking, is it actually realistic? Again, everything's realistic in a certain time scale. This is another one that often gets missed. Is it responsible? And another word for this is ecology. So quite often on the SMART model and other forms of coaching, they'll just say, is it realistic? But in order to get promoted, and in this company you see it a heck of a lot, you've got to put in a lot of hours and a lot of effort. Now sometimes when that happens, something else has to give. So if you were to get promoted, you might have to move, and then you might have to uproot your family. And most of the time it's just as simple enough as having a conversation and asking them, and not assuming that they wouldn't be comfortable with that. But sometimes when we set a goal, it's gun-ho for it, off we go, and it's kind of sod the consequences. But there's always a reaction to every action. So by you achieving your goal, someone else's life is going to have to change in some way. Most of the time, it is just a conversation, and it's missed an awful lot. So I'm going gun-ho from a promotion. It might mean that we have to move family, little family discussion. And the last one is timed. So we're getting back to selling that £1 million, gold Rolex, being a partner. When do you want that? What is a realistic time? I'm not even sure what a realistic time in this company is, but maybe it's 2 years. So we could have a goal there. It is now 2016. February 2016, I am a partner. I've sold £1 million. I'm wearing my gold Rolex. Which is pretty much a good smart goal. And another one that is missed, towards. Now this is the summit really of you get what you focus on. Quite often when you're coaching, people set goals around what they don't want. Which sounds pretty daft. You see it quite a lot. So someone might come in and say, oh, I want to be really healthy, I don't want to eat chocolate cake. That's my goal. I'm not going to eat any chocolate cake this month. Okay? So we'll set that.
Then end up seeing what's a chocolate cake.
All you see, absolutely, Chris. You tick their activating system, all you can see is chocolate cake. Suddenly you see it everywhere. I mean, a classic example for that is, I'm wondering if anyone's bought a new car, or ladies, a new pair of shoes. You thought, I am absolutely the only person with this car or shoes. Cha-ching, at the checkout, you drive off the forecourt, you're wearing your shoes, and they are everywhere. That's because you've alerted your brain to look out for it. You're going to see it everywhere. So if you set your goal, I'm not going to eat chocolate cake, honestly, because chocolate cake will be growing on trees, it will be on every other advert, it will be in your fridge. So it's towards what you want. So again, in a work context, someone might set a goal. I've not had the best month. I don't want to miss my targets again. And people will set goals around that. I don't want to miss targets. Again, that you're alerting and your brain's here working on not reaching targets, when really the goal is I want to excel this month. Which living room are you living in?
So how would you combat that then? How would you teach or tell your brain not to think like that in this way? Do you set yourself the opposite of what you want to say? Is that, I'm not sure how you make that work for yourself.
Yeah, if you're coaching or someone comes in and says, I don't want to miss my targets again, sometimes it's as simple as a question saying, I understand you don't want to miss your targets. And what do you want instead?
Okay, so it's, yeah.
And you'll see people's physiology change. So is it actually that you don't want to miss your targets, or what you actually want is to excel in your targets or hit your targets? So they look at you as if you've come from another planet. Of course it's that. Isn't that what I said? Not really.
Just because your main focus becomes your reality, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What you focus on.
So guys, what I'd like you to do now is set yourself a goal with the SMART acronym. Nice, short, specific goal. Make it meaningful to you. You really invest in this few minutes we've got together that you've given yourself to sit down. Let's get a goal you're really buzzed up about. Couple more minutes. There or thereabouts, yeah. So now we've had the wheel of life, you've set yourself a goal. So the final bit, the final model I'm going to offer you is more when you're managing other people. And it can also be a conversation you have in your mind. So how many managers have we got? How many parents have we got here?
Can I put a half hand up?
So this is a good model. It's basically coaching one-on-one. It's how to have a coaching conversation. Now the true power of coaching is people find it very difficult to argue with their own advice. So a very elegant coach gets the answer out of the person in front of them. It's a presupposition in coaching, meaning you presuppose it to be true about the person in front of you, that everyone has the resources they have to achieve what they want. Just might not be sure how to get there at the minute. And that's what we do.